Hey, 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 everybody. Yes. So I'm showing my face today, okay? um I wanted to, talk to you guys about something, and it is, right? The difference between projection and reflection, because I'm realizing that a lot of people just aren't realizing the difference, okay? And they're confusing the two. They don't know when someone is mirroring them and it is a reflection, or when something is being projected onto them. So you got people out here taking on projections that don't belong to them. And then you got people running from the mirror, okay? Talking about somebody's projecting onto them and don't know what they're talking about. So I said, let's go ahead and have a discussion about it. So there is a difference, right, between projection and reflection. Now, reflection is where life mirrors us, right? Where the people and what is happening is there to make us see something within ourselves that we haven't wanted to see. They're mirroring, okay, an unconscious part of ourself. A part of ourselves that we are unaware of. Now, when it comes to projection, this is someone, putting something on us that isn't really, it serves a purpose though. It's not really us. It's not really our thing, but it is serving a purpose. There is nothing in this universe that is not serving a purpose. Okay. So mirroring or reflection serves the purpose of helping us see something that we cannot see, right? Well, projection is serving the purpose of helping us, of pushing us to do something that we haven't wanted to do. So when if you feel like somebody's projecting onto you and that's still something for you. Okay. There's nothing you're going to experience that does not have a benefit for you. That's just how loved you are. Okay. So here's the thing. When it is a reflection, it is acute. Okay, it can feel like a sucker punch to the gut. You can feel it in your chest. Sometimes you might just get goosebumps. You might have an immediate reaction. Okay, an immediate not liking it. It is pronounced. It is acute. See, what's happening is light has began to, get shunned down in that dark place that you don't want to look at, with something that you don't want to address, that you don't want to see, or that you haven't been aware of. You didn't know that was there. You didn't know you was like that. You didn't know that was in you. You didn't know you needed to look there, right? So soon as the light hits it, it's immediate, okay? It's that acute, you feel like you got boom, okay? When it is a projection, it feels like a nagging and gnawing. It feels like an oppressive force. Like something is trying to force you. Okay? Something is trying to force you. And usually what happens with projections, it's usually nagging and gnawing. Meaning you keep having this thing telling you that you're supposed to do this, or you're not supposed to be that way. Like when somebody's projecting something, right? And it'll line up with this nagging projection. Most times your projections, you get the same kind of projections. When people are projecting onto you, a lot of times you get the same kinds of projections continuing to come, because they're trying to push you to do something you haven't been able to do. Okay, so you're going to keep getting people projecting on you in a certain way. And it becomes this nagging thing. And sometimes the thing that you need to do is stand up to it. Sometimes that's what that projection is about. There's a part of you that's not rising up, or a part of you that's not standing in your power, and you need to stand up to this projection. You need to reject this projection, but you're not. You're steady taking it on. So you're not learning and evolving in your spiritual process to be able to separate what is your responsibility to carry and what is someone else's responsibility to carry. Because see, a lot of times, and you got to remember in this reality, it's a polarity, it's dualistic, right? So you have people that get into one mindset or the other. They think that there's only mirroring and no one's ever projecting. Here's what you have to understand. Whenever there's a mirror, there's a projection. They go together. So if you're mirroring to someone, they might project onto you. If someone is mirroring to you, you might project onto them, because these two work together. They go together. There's no mirror without a projection. Only time that a projection won't happen is when when a person is mirrored and they don't reject the mirroring. When they reject the mirroring, it becomes a projection. Okay, so say for instance, I am mirroring to someone else their own insecurity. So say for instance, I'm going around, I'm feeling good, I'm feeling confident, but that is acting as a mirror to someone else, and it's mirroring back to them their own insecurities. Well, if they don't want to face their insecurities and deal with that energy which is going on in them, this is their rightful thing to deal with. They're the one insecure. They can project that onto the other person as jealousy. And see, when you project it onto the other person as jealousy, the projection is always about throwing the ball of responsibility for energy in the other direction when it's yours to carry. So when you feel jealous, that's not because of somebody else. See, that's the projection. They're doing something that made you feel insecure, which they're not making you insecure. The insecurity is in you. That's why it was able to be triggered. Nobody can trigger something in you that's not there. But instead of you taking responsibility for your insecurity and saying, you know what, I'm insecure, I need to deal with why I'm insecure and deal with myself, you toss the ball back. Now you're going to make your insecurity their problem because they need to stop doing what they're doing that's making you jealous. See, no, they're too full of themselves. That's what's making me feel this. See, and that's what that's about. The mirroring projection is about the responsibility of energy, who's supposed to have the ball, and is it in the right direction? Is the ball of responsibility for this energy where it's supposed to be? Now, when it is mirroring, that's your responsibility. That energy is your responsibility. When it's a projection, it's the other person's responsibility, and they're trying to get you to take responsibility for that energy. Now, a part of your journey is to be able to differentiate between the two, and that takes knowing yourself well enough. That takes being able to tap into what's going on with you at a core level to get this right. And when it is a projection, to be able to throw that ball back. Nope, I'm not going to be responsible for your insecurities. So you being jealous of me is not my problem. It's not something I need to do something about. I'm not going to carry that, right? So sometimes the projection will keep coming because you're not standing up and getting to a certain place within your own spiritual walk to know when to reject the projection. So if someone is trying to get me to take responsibility for their jealousy and I keep taking that on, it's going to become this nagging, oppressive force of me, constantly having this projection directed at me, and it's nagging and gnawing. So then what happens? See, like I told you, with the mirroring, you might have an instant reaction, right? Because it's acute. Boom, you got punched in the gut and you might react immediately. But with the projection, it kind of gnaws at you. You keep taking responsibility for jealousy when it's not your energy to carry, until eventually it happens so much it boils up, and then boom, you're angry, and you kind of you just have this big huge rebellion against the energy because you tolerated it for too long. And it was just so oppressive because it wasn't your energy. You have to understand, projections are coming out from outside of you. So with mirroring, it's about you taking responsibility for your energy. With projection, it is about you not taking responsibility for energy you're not supposed to and sending it back where it belongs. And you cannot get to a whole place within your spiritual walk if you cannot do that. You can't go around taking all that energy that's not yours, and you cannot not be responsible for your own energy. That's the name of the game. It's being responsible for your own energy and then making other people be responsible for theirs. You see? So that's something that, I think that a lot of people need to look at. It's the same thing with this channel. There's a lot of people that come on here, it mirror, something gets mirrored back to them and they feel like it's an attack. See, that's the way mirroring works. When the mirror hits you, you feel hit because it's making you look somewhere you don't want to look. And then what do people do when that happens? They want to say it's a projection. But the way you feel, you need to be responsible for. And if something is out here just nagging on you, like that is not mirroring. That's not mirroring. That's a projection. Okay. So I think it's important that people know the difference so that they can balance out how they're handling energies. You have a responsibility to handle your energy. And I think most people that are on the spiritual journey or on the path to wholeness, they get that concept very easily. Okay. They understand they're responsible for themselves and their own energy. The problem is they don't feel that they're supposed to make other people, they don't know when to make other people responsible for their own energy. And then when they know, they won't do it. Okay. And that's something that is very necessary. Okay. So that's that, guys. Now, another thing. Okay. For those of you who are not aware, because I have never announced it on the channel, is the new hotline. The number for that is going to be in the description box below. Okay. So I have made myself available on this hotline for people to be able to call me and contact me instantly. Now it is available 24/7. However, okay, I'm not sitting there answering the phone 24/7. I have other things to do, and I'm also taking other calls. So what will happen if you call the hotline at a time where I'm on another call or I'm in a coaching session or just unavailable, it will contact you. It will call your phone back when I am available, and it will let you know that I'm available now. Okay, and it'll give you the option to call back at that time. Because I have worked with people in over 74 countries. Isn't that crazy? I didn't even know there were 74 countries. And so in that, I have regular customers, regular clients in over 34 countries. So what does that mean? That means that people are in different time zones where it's day there, it's night here type of thing. So I do have some nights that I work overnight. So that's why the line is 24/7. It's not a set day. It's based on how I'm having to schedule sessions with my clients that are in other places. Okay. So you can try it at any time. Doesn't mean you'll always get me. It just depends if that's a night where I'm working the night shift. Okay. So that's that, guys. So on that line, you can get readings, you can get advice, or just to talk to me. And you're able to do coaching. So if you're a coaching client of mine and you need a session in between, like you need to talk to me in between our next coaching session, you can call the hotline and press the line for coaching. Another thing that it has, an energy report. Okay. It's $9.99 a month. There's a new energy report for every month that helps you navigate the energies of the month. Some of you may need that. It's not something, I'm tapping into some very specific energies there. So it's not for everybody. It's not something I'm going to put out for everybody. I'm tuning into a certain energy here. And if you feel led, then go ahead and do it, because it's to help people navigate the energies and understand what is happening this month. What is it about? Why are things going this way? What am I needing to see? What is trying to transpire? What is the message? Okay. And it will give a report for each week of the month. March is already up. Okay. So it's not meant to be, it's not there to be like a complete crutch, but it's there for when you need it. When you're in that space and you feel like you just don't know, call the hotline. You can buy the energy report for the month. Keep in mind, though, that it will charge you every time you call to get the report again. So if you want to record it, like when you call in and listen to it, you want to record it, feel free to do that. Absolutely, by all means. Okay, because you will have to pay each time you call to hear the report. Okay, so that's that, guys. I'm looking forward to speaking to a lot more of you on the hotline, and getting a chance to, work with some of you there. Yeah, that's it. That's the biggest thing, okay? So that's that, guys. I hope that you found it beneficial when we talk about projection and reflection and knowing the difference and standing in your power and not being afraid to reject projections. But remember, you do have to get to a certain place within yourself and your own spiritual journey to be capable of doing this accurately. Okay, so know that you could be messing it up sometimes, but it's still good to practice. It depends on how deeply connected you are with yourself and how well you know yourself. But that information is there for you. Okay, so that's that, guys. Mwah, 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 mwah. Talk to you later. Bye.